Zamfara governor condoles with families of those who lost their lives in a ghastly accident. Jammed list over 22 computer-based test centers for alleged fraud. Reasons have been given on why Nigeria should embrace 5G network. On business, 9 Mobile Mega Millions promo empowers Kano poultry farmers. And on the international scene, Poland reintroduces ban on flight from 46 countries. Hello and welcome to Svtv News. I am Musa Joy Onyoza. Zamfara State Executive Governor Dr. Bello Mohammed Matawale Marado has condoled with the families of those who lost their lives in a ghastly motor accident near Svtv town in Zamfara State. A statement issued by Special Advisor to the Governor on Media Enlightenment, Media and Communications, Zailani Bapa, said the Governor has directed the observance of 3-day mourning period in honor of the departed souls and that all flags should fly at half-mast. The accident occurred on August 26 at about 5:30 p.m. when a truck lost control and crashed 4 saloon cars, instantly killing about 14 passengers. The statement said it occurred few minutes after Governor Matawale passed the point on his way back to Gusau from Abuja. The governor received information about the accident before reaching Gusau, and he immediately returned to the scene and ordered for the quick conveyance of the corpses to Yemi Bakura Specialist Hospital in Gusau, Zamfara State. Visibly worried, the governor directed for immediate contact with the families of the victims and ordered all his staff to gather at the hospital early the following day for a befitting burial of the deceased. They have since been accorded befitting burial attended by hundreds of people. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has created 2 work centers for Katsina and Jalingo under its Kaduna and Bauchi regions. The Transmission Company of Nigeria is still being owned by the federal government. A statement by the TCN spokesperson, Mrs. Ndidi Mba, said they were created to further decentralize its services to improve the company's operational efficiency and ensure more proactive solutions to interface issues under Kaduna and Yola discourse. The Katsina Work Center have 3 transmission substations with 200 MVA energy capacity in Kano State, Kankia, and Daura on 135 kV transmission level. 5 other substations have been constructed under Katsina Work Center to add 780 MVA energy to its capacity. The center, which receives supply through Kano on 2 132 kV transmission lines, also has a proposed 120 MVA substation at Mashi local government area, which is yet to commence. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has delisted over 22 computer-based test centers for allegedly defrauding 1,823 of its candidates to the tune of 59 million naira. The Registrar Chief Executive of JAMB, Isaac Oloyede, made this known during a virtual meeting with representatives of the affected centers on Thursday. Mr. Oloyede said the centers carried out the fraud by charging candidates more than stipulated amount of effecting correction on profile and bypassing one-time password required of candidates to initiate such changes. He said the 22 centers from 9 states were indicted for the infractions, adding that other centers that share the same ownership with the affected ones would be suspended from JAMB activities. He explained that the purpose of calling the meeting is to interact with 22 institutions that have grossly violated the prescription of the board, particularly during COVID-19, and those who have done things not expected to do, thereby endangering the lives of candidates that were supposed to be protected. With politics in the air and with eyes on the governorship election, the Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu has slashed the tuition fees of students of the Adekunle Ajasin University. Mr. Akeredolu, on assumption of office in 2017, did an upward review of the tuition fees of the institution. a development which attracted several protests from the body of students and parents as well. He had argued that what the students were paying could not enable the provision of quality education to the students, with the controversy refusing to die since then. Political opponents had latched onto it, using it as a political tool against the government. The governor, who is running on the ticket of the All Progressives Congress, had hinted last week that he would consider a downward review of the fees after it became an item of debate and a campaign point for the opposition. The Vice President, Yemi Osibanjo, says to effectively deal with the Southern Cardinal crisis, the Buhari administration will not sweep the major issues underlying the conflict under the carpet. According to him, this includes ensuring justice, fixing economic marginalization, and the prosecution of persons responsible for these murders. This is to ensure that the impunity doesn't worsen. Mr. Osibanjo spoke at the ongoing Nigerian Bar Association Annual General Conference on Thursday during a special conversation featuring him and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Bajabiamila. The Vice President also urged those who have concern about the recently signed CAMA legislation to approach the National Assembly for possible amendment, since we are in a democracy. Speaking on a way forward in the Southern Cardinal crisis and making reference to his personal experience, the Vice President said he had been involved since 2001 through the work of the Macedonian Initiative, an NGO that focuses on providing relief materials to displaced persons in Southern Cardinal and several other places, especially in north-central part of Nigeria. Adopting the fifth-generation network will transform Nigeria into a smart city, improve its economic growth, and migrate it to a digital economy, experts have said. The Computer Professional Registration Council of Nigeria gave the recommendation in a communique issued at the end of its meeting on Wednesday. The communique, jointly signed by the President in Council, Charles Uwodia, and the Secretary of the Council, Olwell Ochuba, was sent by the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC. The deployment of 5G in Nigeria has raised a lot of controversies. While many Nigerians had claimed that the technology is already in the country and was injurious, the NCC had denied rumors that the technology was in use in some part of the country. President Muhammadu Buhari has sacked the coordinator of the amnesty program in the presidency, Charles Dokubo. No reason was given for the sack, announced in a statement by Mr. Buhari's spokesperson, Garba Shehu. Malam Shehu said Mr. Dokubo, a professor, was replaced with Milan Dikio, a retired army colonel. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Colonel Milan Dikio, retired, as interim administrator of amnesty program with effect from August 21, 2020. This followed the President's approval of the disengagement of Professor Charles Kwaka Dokubo from office as the coordinator amnesty program with immediate effect. Professor Dokubo has been directed to hand over all official matters to the most senior officer of the program. The Nigerian government said it postponed the resumption of international flights to ensure all essential things were put in place. International flights earlier scheduled to resume on August 29th will not commence until September 5th. The government regrets to announce that the international flight resumption, earlier scheduled to resume on 29th August, have been shifted to 5th September 2020. President Muhammadu Buhari had in March ordered the suspension of international flights to stop further the spread of COVID-19 virus into the country, while local flights were also suspended to resume about 5 weeks ago as the country joined the rest of the world to battle the pandemic. Nigeria recorded its first case of COVID-19 in an Italian who arrived in the country late February. Since then, about 50,000 infections have been recorded, leading to over 1,000 deaths. Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka has condemned the reintroduction of the Bill on National Water Resources 2020 to the National Assembly. In a statement on Thursday, Mr. Soyinka warned that the bill, if passed into law, would hand the president absolute control over the nation's entire water resources, both over and underground. The bill, which failed to get a concurrent passage by both houses in the 8th Assembly, has passed second reading in the House of Representatives and has been referred to a House committee. Last week, civil society groups, including the Amalgamated Union of Public Corporation, Civil Service Technical and Recreational Services Employees, and Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa, frowned at several provisions in the bill which would breach Nigerians' right to the water. The Council of State has approved the presidential pardon granted late Ambrose Ali, the first democratically elected governor of Old Bendel State, now Edo and Delta State. Mr. Ali, after whom the Ambrose Ali University in Edo State is named, was controversially indicted over a 900,000 naira scandal while he was alive. The Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, who briefed journalists after Thursday's council meeting, said Mr. Ali was pardoned over 900,000 naira, which he later paid but was convicted. Apart from Mr. Ali, other pardoned by the Council of State include 2 retired Army officers, Colonel Moses F. Young and Mr. E.J. Olorewaju, who were said to be involved in a coup attempt during the Ibrahim Babangida military rule. The Council also pardoned one Ajayi Babalola. The Council meeting was attended by 5-member Nigerian leaders, Yakubu Gawan, Ibrahim Babangida N.S. Shonikan, Abdulsalami Abubakar, and Goodluck Jonathan, as well as Senate President Ahmed Lawan. The governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, has vowed to sign the death warrant for the execution of a man convicted of blasphemy in the state. Dr. Ganduje said he will not fail to do so if the man appeals up to the Supreme Court and wins. The governor said he will not waste time in signing the warrant for the execution of the man who blasphemed the Holy Prophet of Islam. The governor stated this on Thursday during a meeting with clerics in Kano State. The Kano Upper Sharia Court on August 10 sentenced Yahya Sharif, a musician, to death for blaspheming. The judge Aliu Kani said the 22-year-old should die by hanging. Sharif, a resident of Sharafai in Kano Metropolis, was accused of committing the offense in a song he circulated via WhatsApp in March 2020. In response, protesters in the highly conservative state torched the singer's family's home. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. On business, Aguirre has more detail.
Welcome to Standard Voice Business Update. The Mega Million promo from telecommunication giant 9Mobile has continued to ignite dreams and empower customers across the country. One of such winners is Mr. Ishaq Fatihu Idris, who recently smiled home with 1 million naira. He and other smartphone winners were in shared disbelief as they pick up their prizes at the presentation event held at the 9Mobile Experience Center at Dobayeru Mall, Kano. The promo is designed to reward 90 lucky customers with 1 million naira daily, 2 smartphones per hour for 90 days, and a grand prize of 10 million naira at the grand finale. Ishaq Fatihu Idris, 1 million naira winner with 9Mobile employee at the Experience Center, Ado Bairu Mall, Kano, in the ongoing 9Mobile Mega Millions promo prize presentation in Kano. And that's on Standard Voice Business Updates. I'm Aguirre.
And on the international scene, Poland is to ban flights from 46 countries, including France and Spain, as from September 2nd, according to a draft regulation published on Thursday. The ban is coming as the country grapples with a spike in coronavirus infections. The move follows targeted measures to reintroduce restrictions on public life in the worst affected part of the country as the government tries to tackle the spread of the virus without resorting to a complete lockdown. Due to the threat of spreading SARS-CoV-2 virus infections, it is necessary to exercise the right to introduce air traffic bans in order to minimize the threat to public health. Poland closed its borders and suspended flights in March to stop the spread of the coronavirus. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Zamfara governor condoles with families of those who lost their lives in a ghastly accident. Jammed list over 22 computer-based test centers for alleged fraud. Reasons have been given on why Nigeria should embrace 5G network. On business, Mobile Mega Millions promo empowers Kano poultry farmers. And on the international scene, Poland reintroduces ban on flight from 46 countries. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew and Head of News and Current Affairs Department, Alhaji Ibrahim Garabatunyao, I still remain Musa Joy Unyoza. Stay tuned.